SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information. We are previewing Week 3 in the NFL here at SBRForum Videos. I'm Peter Loshak, and when the lines came out, opening lines came out for this week, we saw Seattle minus near 20, and I was wondering what handicapper is going to get stuck with this game, and the answer is Tony George, industry veteran from TonyGeorgeSports.com, LockerRoomPicks.com, and a brand new Sunday morning radio show that he's doing on the Yahoo Sports Network. Tony George, thanks so much for being back with us this week, and thanks for taking this crazy game in line.
Thanks for giving me short straw.
Yeah, you didn't have a lot of games to choose from when I sent you the list, and this was on there, and you took it. But, all right, let's analyze this game here.
Sure.
The two main factors, Seattle, awesome. Jacksonville sucks ass, right? That's why we have the line where it is. I'm looking, though, at the line movement. Now, it opened at 16.5, right? I'm seeing this at Bookmaker, right? Opened at 16.5, got bet all the way up to 19.5, then took a jump back down to 16.5, then got bet back all the way up to 19.5, and now it's back down to 18.5. Now, my thought is, who's betting that line, getting it down? That's sharp guys, I think, betting the number, taking the value with the dog. Who's betting it up? I think that's sharp guys who see real value that we can tail. I'm maybe thinking Seattle minus 18.5 is the play here. Tony George, what do you think?
Well, this is an interesting game all the way around. First of all, I don't think there's any question in my mind right now that the two best teams, representing their conferences are Seattle and Denver, especially what Seattle did to San Francisco on Sunday night. They're 8-0 in there last year and 7-1 against the spread, and they're 1-0 straight up against the spread now in very impressive fashion. And you're looking at this kind of reminds me of Pete Carroll when he was coaching at USC, laying a huge number at Hawaii at home in Week 3. I mean, it just depends on when he wants to call the horses out of the game.
Right.
I mean, what it boils down to, I think the only saving grace for Jacksonville here is the fact that Seattle does have Houston on deck, which is a big game.
Mm-hmm.
So are they going to play their starters the entire game? That's usually not a question you usually ask in the NFL. It's usually, when Nebraska or Ohio State is playing Tallahassee JUCO, how long are they going to leave them in when the spread's 49 or 50? But, Jacksonville, 5.5 points per game. Their quarterback is basically useless. They're last in offense, last in points scored. Conversely, Seattle is first in, defense and first in, about every category there is in the NFL in defense, and they're going to be unbeatable up there. If anything here, I'm going to cop out on the side play. 6 teams, I think, over the last 25 years have been favored 20 or more. And at some point in time during this week, Seattle was favored at up to 20. Mm-hmm. And of all those 6 teams that were favored 20 or more, I don't have the list in front of me, all 6 won the game, but only one of them covered the number. Yeah. And 20 points in the NFL is pretty much like, playing 45 in college, Peter. Right. But the thing I see here is I don't see Jacksonville scoring.
Right.
And I don't see Pete Carroll playing the starters the entire game. I don't know if the mercy rule comes into play as much in the NFL as it does in college. But at the end of the day, I don't see Jacksonville scoring here. And I don't see Seattle scoring more than 35. Maybe they give them a cheap one with second teamers in, maybe 3 points, maybe 7. The under 40.5 looks more attractive to me than laying 20.
Yeah.
If I had to go one way or the other, I would play the under in this game. I mean, if you can hold San Francisco to 3 and shut down Gore and Baldwin, I mean, what the hell are you going to do with Jacksonville? Has no receivers. Their quarterback he could even start for Alabama. He barely could start for Missouri, and he's still got injury issues. I think the under 40.5 is the only way to look here.
I agree with you. First of all, right now the line at Bookmaker, right when I checked before, is 41. So that's the line that you're going to get. I completely agree with you. I think Jacksonville, for whatever reason, is going to want to, run the ball, keep the game short. Like you said, Seattle, they're not going to be looking to, they're looking ahead to next week. They're not going to want to run up the score either. I agree with you. I think under 41 is the best way to play here. Is that your official pick on this game?
That's my official pick. Play the under 41 and maybe if you're using, 2 team 6-point teasers, you could either, I wouldn't really tease Seattle down, Peter. You're not going through any key numbers except 14. But at the end of the day, I think if you tease this up to 47, you might be able to have a successful half of the teaser there as well.
Right. Okay, Tony George from TonyGeorgeSports.com likes the under 41 in Jacksonville, Seattle, and I agree with him. Thanks, Tony. Talk to you again next week.
You bet. Best of luck.